All right, thanks, and welcome to another episode of the Bandit Room. We're here in the studio today with Aggie, Caleb,
hey,
and a special guest. Mr. Jim is back with us. Do you prefer Jim or James? I keep going back and forth.
Either one. I guess it depends on if you're mad at me.
Okay, so James if you're mad.
Typically James. Yeah.
that's like his team. They don't know if they want to go to the Super Bowl or not go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, they want to go, but tickets are so expensive.
Is it the team from Cleveland?
All right, so the idea to bring Mr. James back, first of all, in the studio, he's visiting us.
Yeah, he's visiting today. We overheard an exchange that happened post your initial appearance on the show, and
during
we just
lunch.
had to during lunch today.
Yeah.
We had to re-explore that. So this is kind of a special follow-up episode to the original episode with James on it. To all our avid listeners out there. So we heard that post. So, to be fair, we did kind of beat up on Mr. Jim here last time he was here. He came on to talk about his favorite team, and Aggie destroyed him. And he came to talk about his favorite movies, and Caleb tore him apart. So all that's left is for me to tear something else that you love apart.
Charles' turn, that's right.
But no. So at lunch, we overheard that Caleb post-show made some sort of apology to you about how the last show went down.
I don't understand this.
I know.
What's the reason for Caleb to go apologize for his views that he strongly believes in?
Yeah, I must say that Aggie and I were both astounded that he apologized.
Right.
It's not
gobsmacked.
It's gobsmacked.
Now, my question is,
multiple spit takes.
Having known Mr. James for a bit, is there a chance that he made a backroom deal with Caleb? There's an exchange of goods or gifts or whatever for him to publicly apologize to him in front of others, so the others will overhear the conversation and then go in the route of Mr. James saying, see, the kid was wrong, I was right, my team is good, my movies are the best.
It was not a public apology, though.
That's very true. It was not.
Here's the deal.
Explain yourself, Caleb.
After our conversation,
without saying sorry.
After our conversation previously.
Yes, our previous podcast, I crapped on Hitchcock, which is James's favorite. I felt a little bad about that, but not that bad. But we kind of left on the note that I was going to watch more Hitchcock movies. And James sent me, very kindly, slacked me a list of films that he considers some of the best that I haven't seen. And in his message, which I have pulled up here, he says, what other director even has 15 films that you or I have seen? And I was like, that's a good point, but the only thing I can think of is Steven Spielberg, who has many, many films for almost 50 years. This is the thing that I felt bad about. I said, I have seen all but a couple of his 33 films, which to me is extremely arrogant and pretentious sounding. And the rest of the messages in this Slack thing, I felt like I came across that way. That was the thing, more than the podcast. I just wanted to make sure that Jim didn't feel like I was being like arrogant and pretentious.
So after the show, you proceeded to cyberbully Jim about his movies. So it wasn't enough to just destroy them on air. You had also had a personal one-on-one conversation.
Was any of the messages that you sent to him via Slack, was it back and forth?
Yeah, I mean, it was a back and forth.
Okay, so he was thrashing you even back and forth without strategizing it.
Yeah, well, I mean, after our previous conversation, I had Hitchcock on my mind, and so the movies that I couldn't think of in real time while we were in our
because he put you on he pushed you back too much. You couldn't react fast enough. Is that what he's saying?
Well, I mean, I just hadn't. I was working too hard on Truck Logic, so I didn't have Hitchcock on my mind. We don't talk
about products here. You gotta cut that one out.
Save it for the ads.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I was thinking about it overnight, and I had the opportunity to go, this one and this one. So I just first thing in the morning when we came to work, I put them into Slack and I sent it over to Caleb.
So you pulled a typical Cleveland Brown strategy. When the game is over,
it was
next day I go back and say, I should have done that. Maybe I should have caught the ball here. Maybe I should have thrown the ball there.
It's really fun watching this tape.
This wasn't a fight. I wasn't trying to argue. I was trying to give him some advice on some movies that I really liked.
Were you able to convince him that your director is a good director?
No, I don't know. I don't.
Was that the main goal for you?
No. I just wanted him to watch a couple of these movies and enjoy them maybe as much as I have.
Yeah. So Caleb,
that was my hope.
Did your mind change about the value or the quality of the director he's talking about?
Not yet. But here's the thing: I haven't also had a chance to watch any of these movies yet. I haven't got to it, so I'm gonna go watch as many of these movies as I can that James has sent me, and I will let him know what I think. Maybe we can have a debrief eventually. There's a lot of movies here, so it might take me a while, but I'll watch these and we'll see.
Right
and so
on.
I appreciate having this list. I do appreciate it.
Well, cool.
Now, it was my impression that you deemed the apology unnecessary initially. Is that right? Because you weren't offended by it, right? It's just part of life for you.
Yeah, Caleb came sneaking around, stuck his head around the corner this morning, and I waved, and he says, "Can I come in?" He goes, I just wanted to apologize, about the way
why
that
was
went.
not this done live on air? So are you going to repeat those not lies, those apologies?
Listen, I just told him, I said, completely not necessary. I was not offended by you telling me your list of, directors that you like and movies that you like. I was presenting my list. You presented yours. I think that's the way a conversation goes. As a matter of fact, I even told him, I said, I kind of appreciated your input, being that you are like 30 years younger than me, because most of the people that I have these conversations with are within 5 or 6 years of my own age. So it was kind of good to get a younger person's point of view.
Caleb is very polite, and he probably thought should not harass some old people at this stage in life.
He doesn't have much longer
I
life.
try not to.
There's not much time left for this guy. Just don't make his golden years unhappy.
Let him have his movies.
As of today, we actually have a proper bourbon bar in our podcast room. So we have a bottle of Buffalo Trace, we have a bottle of chicken cock, and a bottle of, I believe, Burning Chair. We would be very honored if you would pick one, and we can have a shot of that, and then we'll start talking about browns.
Oh yeah, okay. Well,
drown your troubles.
Well, let's. I've had the Burning Chair and the Buffalo Trace, so let's try the chicken cock.
All right, let's do it. Charles, would you mind reaching over, please?
I will say, we were also talking at lunch today. Jim turned to me and said,
I said, I've got one word to say to you.
"Cool Hand Luke," is what you said. And I said, "So good." And you were very relieved. You were like, "Oh, thank goodness."
That's it's one of my top 5 favorite movies of my life.
So you're like, this guy doesn't have it completely wrong about it.
Yeah, well, I figured we were going to be okay after all. That's what I figured at that point.
It's a great film. Great performance from Paul Newman.
Supporting cast just went on and on. Really, really good movie.
And then I think we went on to some of the classics, Butch and Sundance, The Sting.
So are you guys talking about Paul Newman? He's from Ohio.
He's
did not
from
know that.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Paul Newman, his Daytona recently sold for $17 million.
Did it really?
Yeah, he was a big watch collector.
I had no idea he was a Rolex collector. That's a big bunch of money right there.
Mhm.
What makes a Rolex sell for, other than Paul Newman, but what's so special about the watch?
It's a Rolex. That's all you need to know.
Is
I mean,
that
you're the watch
particular
guy, so
one
you
has
know.
to be particularly rare?
The
I'm
one
guessing?
he had, it's the Daytona.
It's not like a one of a kind, is it?
No, it was
Not
just regular
necessarily
Daytona
one of
that
a
he
kind.
wore. That's
Okay,
all it was. yeah.
Gotcha.
If you're a trucker and you own a truck that weighs 55,000 pounds or more, we're here to let you know that it's time to file your Form 2290 again. Thankfully, Express Truck Tax is here to make e-filing easy with a free VIN checker, a scan for common errors, and 100% US-based customer support. Plus, if you file your 2022-23 Form 2290 before June 30th with Express Truck Tax, you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win Denny's gift cards, Blue Parrot headsets, and even a Garmin Truck GPS. So go to expresstrucktax.com now to file your 2022-23 Form 2290.
Cheers.
Cheers. So this is a chicken cock? Pardon the name. Where'd you get
Hitchcock
this
and Chicken Cock, that's the name.
Hitchcock and chicken cock.
That's today's episode.
This chicken cock is not as smooth as the
No, it isn't.
plantain we had for lunch.
It is not.
I can feel it going.
Yeah, it's got the slow burn.
Yes, sir.
Not bad.
Oh, you're drinking straight up, Charles?
Yeah, yeah.
Neat. Look at you.
There was an interesting story in the news recently of a cruise ship that was being built. It's the largest cruise ship ever constructed, apparently.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And they don't have a buyer for it, so they're sending it to the scrapyard? Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't think the ship was completed, though.
Because there's
taken out
two
to
of
sea.
two of these that were being
Right.
made by one company, and
Right.
they went belly up during COVID. One is finished,
Oh, okay.
I
When it's
think,
finished.
and the
okay.
other one they can't find a buyer for apparently.
What I read was that the ship was primarily designed for the Asian market, and so you can't just bring it to the U.S. market. So without spending more money changing the interior, and then they will take it to some scrapyard, sell it for scrap, get some of the
Crazy.
money back.
Well,
It's in the same condition as the Panthers' practice facility.
Oh,
Going to the scrapyard.
yeah. So I drove by there yesterday.
Yeah.
Obviously, nothing is going on. The structure just it's there.
Yeah.
I think when we go to our Panthers home games, we need to come up with some T-shirt idea, and maybe that hashtag we've been talking about, temper tantrum.
Temper tantrum.
Yeah,
Come on, Panthers. Throw a temper tantrum.
yeah. let's come up with some phrases that we can
Yeah.
put on T-shirts and hats.
Yeah.
When we go to the game, that's what we'll wear.
Yeah. Well, I saw the other day local substation too. They always have a funny little sign out front, and they said, "Try our new special, the Tepper sub. We quit on it halfway through."
So is that final and not coming back? Is
No,
it?
everybody sued everybody, and he's already filed bankruptcy. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
His construction company filed for bankruptcy because they don't want to pay anyone, and they owed all these contractors a lot of money. York County has sued his construction company and the city of Rock Hill for misusing $28 million worth of taxpayer funds. So now it's all going to end up in court. I have Panthers practice facility is dead. It's over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are they going elsewhere?
He may go to another city and try the same thing, make some more money, and make some more people poor and file bankruptcy. He might do that 3-4 times.
No.
Wow.
I think he thinks a recession's in order, and I think he wanted to free up capital. That's my theory.
I guess if you're from the Rock Hill area, we feel anger towards it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you live outside of Rock Hill, people in South Carolina probably don't care about it.
I feel like it's something that I think the state would be, in general, upset by. At least if you follow Panthers football and you're
the
from.
freaking politicians?
No, I mean the
No
general.
politician is going to stand up to a rich guy because they need his donation. Like, which guy here is going to stand up and say, "Oh, you screwed us over. I'm going to come after you"?
No, you had said that I think is the anger limited to Rock Hill, and I don't think it necessarily is.
Okay.
I think anybody in South Carolina that follows Panthers football would be
Right.
somewhat upset by it.
Right.
Because
Right.
it's not just a dig against the town or the particular location, but it's kind of a dig against the whole state, because that was the whole thing of it, is bringing two states together. They
Right.
always say
Right.
two states, one team.
So what if we take out a full-page ad in the Charlotte Observer on the first day of first game, and just the pure simple hashtag, just add as just a black page with just temper tantrum.
Tantrum.
Let's come up with an idea.
It'd be
We'll
a s-
pick the ad out.
It'd be a special play
Yep.
the Panthers can run.
Speaking of facilities, there's talk back in Cleveland spending $1 billion to put in a Jerry World type dome for the Browns to play football in.
That's what's missing.
That might be the key.
That's the key. More climate control.
So what's your view on Mr. Watson? Is he going to play this season?
Yeah, I think he'll play.
So I saw the news today that he settled with 20 of the 24.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
24 what?
Caleb, you got to be in the sports world. to
Well, what I'm
understand.
saying is I'm not in the sports world.
listeners
Our
out
listeners
there
might not be in the sports
that
world,
don't
and we
know
can't just
20 of
reference
the
things
24.
without, especially if these people listen to this in the future.
They were like, what the heck was that
What
about?
was that about?
when the aliens turn up
Yeah.
and they find our podcast. No, there's 24 women who's accused Tashawn of inappropriate
sexual
behavior.
Yes.
Right.
There's actually 24 civil cases against him in that regard. Is that right?
And 20 of them have been settled.
Yeah.
Settled. Yeah.
Do
So
you think he'll still play? You don't think that'll disqualify him?
No, I think he'll still play.
So you made a comment about that if this disqualifies him or this goes to trial, then they need to bring Mr. Kraft into it.
Robert Kraft had the same type of a problem down in Florida a few years ago, and I don't remember him being suspended from being the owner of the Patriots.
But was there any allegation against him though, or was he just busted for going?
He was
to the
actually
place?
arrested.
Right.
Yeah, there's never been any criminal charges with Watson.
But was there any against Kraft?
Yeah.
There was?
Yeah, he was arrested. Yeah.
Huh. So let's talk about airline travel these days.
Yeah, let's.
Let's do that. Something near and dear to some of them.
Thousands of flights being canceled, and including Mr. James, who was
Yeah.
supposed to fly back tonight. and then his flight got canceled. So he's got to fly out tomorrow. Hopefully that doesn't get canceled.
Yeah.
And he's got like a 4-hour layover in Nashville.
Yeah.
Hopefully that won't get canceled.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hey, you can go out for 3 hours, go and travel around, walk around.
I'll go to Kid Rock's.
That's the number one thing to do.
So, I mean, you see what the airlines did. They got rid of all the senior pilots during COVID, gave them option to retire early, and they just got rid of them. And now they don't have pilots.
Now there's a shortage in quotes because they fired everybody.
So the CEOs of these airlines, how stupid they have to be to do plan, like this for the next 3, 4, 5 years. So what happens to them? Would they get disqualified, suspended, fired for not planning ahead?
If everybody's doing poorly, then it's hard to punish one particular.
But also it's the consolidation, it's like only 3 or 4 players. They control all the routes.
Right.
They did take the short-term solution and apply it to the long-term there. And that's how you end up with situations like this.
I have a lot of pilot friends, and they all curse their bosses out all day long, every day. Like, they always say these guys have no clue what they're doing in the long term.
It's topical too. There's a big strike by Southwest pilots apparently yesterday.
Yeah, there was like 1,000 pilots. So
Yeah,
that's why your flight got canceled.
It'll be canceled tomorrow. And I didn't know they were striking.
It said up to 1,300 pilots in Dallas where they were outside standing in front of with in a line with signs just all the way up and down the road in.
The existing pilots saying that they're being overworked or something?
Yeah.
Or because they don't have enough pilots?
And the hours, yeah.
How about that flight attendants? Only recently, or was it only one airline now? They're getting paid from the time they turn up for work and not just when the doors close. That's how it's always been.
Wow.
So they're actually working when they are saying hello to you when you walk in, and they were not getting paid for it.
Huh. It's crazy. I'm kind of surprised they were able to get away with that for so long.
I was telling James at lunch, I've only flown a couple times since COVID happened, and the last time I was coming back from Colorado and flight was canceled. Yeah, it was like
I feel you.
I guess now if you're going to be going there somewhere for 2 days, you need to allocate 4 days for it.
I guess so.
James, since your flight got canceled,
yes,
I guess we're going to go have dinner and watch Top Gun.
Top Gun tonight? Okay.
Finally going to watch Top Gun.
We're finally doing it, Aggie?
Well, that will be me watching it before I watched Downton Abbey. My wife was wanting me to take her.
You didn't see it.
I haven't seen it, so that would be getting Top Gun in ahead of that. So
we had, did you gentlemen have fun talking nicely to Mr. James today?
Yeah.
I hope you feel more comfortable than last time.
You guys have really made me feel welcome this time. Thank you. And especially after Caleb's apology. That really
clear the air.
Yes. It's been a much better day.
And we opened the first bottle of first drink at our new Bandit Bar.
Yeah.
Bandit Bar.
Very nice.
The Bandit Bar, we got to get a sign for it now and everything.
Light up sign.
Nice little bourbon collection over there. Shout out to anyone who wants to sponsor it and send us some bourbon. This episode brought to you by Chicken Cock.
That's right.
Out of Bardstown.
Bardstown. Remember we went there?
We were there.
Yeah.
Where's Bardstown?
In
Is it
Kentucky.
just out of Louisville? Or is it?
Yeah.
Did you get that there?
No,
no.
I got that as a gift for my birthday.
Gotcha.
I believe Nate bought me that you are a chicken, so I got you Chicken Cock.
A good friend.
A good friend.
All right. Well, thanks very much for joining us, everybody. Stick around next week and see what we talk about on the Bandit Room.
The Bandit Room is a production of Span Enterprises, located in sunny Rock Hill, South Carolina. We've been developing, supporting, and growing successful IRS e-filing and business management solutions since 2010. Go to spanenterprises.com now to learn more. The views and opinions expressed in the Bandit Room are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect or state the opinions of Span Enterprises. No information should be considered as tax, legal, or other professional advice.